Liquid formulas often look better, they wear better on more mature skin, they show less texture. So when it comes to a liquid blush, there are so many on the market. Which ones are really the best? Today, maybe we're gonna find a dupe because we're going to review in Friday Faceoff the Morphe Hot Shots against Armani. Now this is the gold standard, but it costs $40, comes in 13 shades. This one is $15 and comes in 5 shades. The dupe is not coming from the exact shade match. What we wanna find out is the formula the same in terms of how it applies and how it wears. So if you're ready for today's Friday Face-Off, let's get into it. If we haven't met before, hi, I'm Jody, I'm 56, and this is a series that I do every week where we compare 2 products side by side, not only in application, but an 8-hour wear test, because we want to see how they work on more mature skin so that it makes your trip to the store or online a little less confusing and saves you some money. All right, first up is the Hot Shot by Morphe. Now again, this comes in 5 shades. I'm going to apply both of these on the back of my hand first, and then we'll go onto the face. This is how I apply almost all of the products on my more mature skin, which is one of the biggest changes I've made since I've turned 50. When you talk about what are you doing with your makeup differently in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s than you did in the first 4 decades of your life, one of the biggest for me is I apply almost everything on the back of my hand first. So we're gonna apply both of these differently. I just wanna show you the difference in the formula so that we can have a place to start. Here's the Morphe one. It is truly more of a liquid, where the Armani is a little bit more of a cream, if you will. Now again, we're not going for a dupe in terms of the shade. What I want to find out is the formula the same, so then you can go and find the shade that you want. So we're going to start with the Nikki LaRose in 20 brush. I'm going to carefully pick up just the Morphe. Now I've used both of these before. The Morphe is so pigmented. You guys, you really want to diffuse this out. Work it into the brush before you go straight into your cheeks, or else you'll be blending for a long time. But we should talk about the packaging real quick. It's very simple packaging, nothing fancy, but for a $15 price tag, that's fine for me. You just get a little tiny bit, and that's all you need. Now that we have that really diffused out, if you need some pigmented full coverage Halloween makeup, this is the shade That Girl, and I like this one. It's a cool to neutral pink. It doesn't look warm when it goes on the skin. I'm curious to try these side by side because I do like both of these formulas, but I've never compared them to each other. And I'd like to, because if I could find a blush formula for $15 instead of $40, well, that is a win. See how pretty that goes on? Very natural, blends out nicely. It looks like a flush of color. It doesn't look overbearing. It doesn't look like old school blush where it's just a stripe. And for $15, you guys, that is gorgeous. Now the question will be, how long will this last? And again, we'll pop on in 8 hours to see what we've got. And this is shade That Girl. Now we're not gonna set either of these with powder. If you do want your liquid products, whether that's blush, contour, foundation, any liquid or cream product to last longer, you would wanna set it with a powder. One of my favorite techniques for blush is to put your liquid or your cream blush down and then go over top of it with a different shade of blush in a powder form to really give you some dimension. That's usually a evening out, more of a glam look. For an everyday look like this is just what I would go with. I mean, that, you guys, is such a pretty shade, but you saw how much you want to diffuse it. You need just the smallest amount. Again, if you were to put that product, because it's so pigmented, right on your brush and then go into your face, or if you were to just drip it on your face like some reason people are doing all over social media, this blush would take you forever to blend that out. So I really recommend going on the back of your hand first because it is so pigmented. Now for the Armani side, this is shade 53 Bold Pink. They call it a cool baby pink. This does come with a doe foot applicator, which makes application much easier. You wouldn't necessarily need to go onto the back of your hand. You could just go right through here, which I typically do when I use an Armani blush. Again, we're not going for the dupe in terms of the shade range, you guys. I want you to just find the formula that works best for you, and then you can look at all the different shades. I don't really typically try to do dupes in terms of shade. I really want to look at the formula, because if you know the formula is what you're looking for, then you have a wider selection of your shade ranges. All right, going in with that same brush, Gonna pick this up. I mean, you can see how much easier this is to blend out. It's a very light, blendable formula. Work it into that brush, and then same application, just real soft. What I like about the Armani formulas is if you are new to using cream or liquid formula, these blend out very well. They're not so pigmented, aka Morphe, that you're gonna make a mistake. You almost need to add more for intense color versus much less like we did on the other side. But once you slow down and you get more comfortable with a cream or liquid product, then either of these work fine. I'm gonna show how easy these are to blend. I'm gonna build it a little bit and I'm gonna go right on to the cheek area. I do like how cool toned this blush is, although the Morphe War, I think it looks a little cool too. It doesn't look warm, I don't think. I love the natural little highlight that the Morphe is giving. So you can see how easy this blends out. I'm not having to spend a ton of time doing it. I went a little darker with the Armani just so that you could really see it on camera. They're both gorgeous, I think. What do you guys think? And when you look at how different these two shades are on the back of my hand, I don't feel like they look that different on, which is interesting. Well, in terms of application, they both went on really nice. They don't wear patchy. So here's the Morphe side, $15. And here's the Armani side, $40. You guys saw how easy they both went on. A little goes a long way with the Morphe, but that's okay. I wouldn't mind the application process if I knew how to use it. And this one's a little easier because it does have a doe foot applicator. So does it look like one should cost $25 more than the other? I mean, freshly applied, I don't see it. But let's see what we have in 8 hours, because maybe that's where the price difference is really gonna show through. All right, you guys, well, these blushes held up better than some of my other makeup that I have on today. My bronzer wore super patchy, and yeah, I'm testing a new one, so I guess I have thoughts on that. So let's talk about these two blushes. First of all, we almost had a disaster where we had to start this whole experiment over, because one of the last things that I do before when my makeup is done is use a setting spray, and I grabbed it. It was in my hand. We were seconds away from having to start this whole thing over, but I didn't. I stopped myself, so that's good, because a setting spray or setting powder is going to help prolong the pigment, the wear of any makeup product that you wear. But that's not the point of today, because not everybody wants to wear a setting spray or a setting powder. So these are naked experiments, if you will. The setting spray I have been loving, you guys, I started testing it because it's new, is this new one. It's called Caramel Glow by One Size. It's their On Till Dawn setting spray, which is a very beloved, extremely popular, and I know why. It's popular for the right reasons. It lasts a long time. But now it comes with a little bit of a bronze in the setting spray, which is really pretty, and it has a little bit of a glow to it. It also comes in Cocoa Glow. I bought both of them because I thought I would do an experiment to kind of show the two different shades. This one is definitely for more darker skin tones. I wore it one day and it just looked a little bit off on me. So if you've got lighter skin, the Caramel Glow is good. Darker skin tones, the Cocoa Glow is good. They not only is a setting spray, but like I said, it's a nice golden bronze. But we did not use a setting spray today, as you can tell from some of my other makeup products not wearing as well. So thoughts on the two blushes. Let's start with Morphe first. That looks every bit as good to me after 8 hours as the Armani, right? Do you guys think so? It didn't settle, it didn't lose too much pigment, it didn't settle into lines, it didn't really make my pores look accentuated. It still has that natural glow. It has probably lost some pigment to it, but we'll see if the Armani side as well. But after 8 hours, that is still a very soft, pretty blush color. Now, I'm more dry on the cheekbones. I don't have oily skin there. If you do have oily skin, you may want to just put a little bit of powder throughout the day if you see that you're getting shiny, and you would get extended wear. For 8 hours, $15, I'm really happy with that. In terms of Armani, same results. Still about the same amount of pigment, still have that nice healthy glow. I don't feel like it's worn patchy at all. So it is also a very nice blush. So I guess here's where the question comes. Because the Morphe only offers 5 shades, If there's a shade that you really want and Morphe doesn't have it, then maybe you would go up to the Armani. But other than that, I don't see where the $25 difference really comes from other than the shade range. The key with the Morphe is that you've got to put it on the back of your hand first, smaller dot than I used even, work it into your brush, and then I would even work it into a tissue or a clean part of your hand to really dilute that pigment before you put it on your face. It's just going to be easier to work with, and over time that will become a very easy process for you to get used to. I just would hate for you to do what I did and really end up with so much product. I mean, $15, you still want the product to last. You don't want to wear it on the back of your hand and waste it, but you just don't need very much. And I think if you use too much, you'll hate the look. So really diffuse it out before you put it on. Even if you put it on the back of your hand, on your finger, and then go in, I still think it's way too much. So use a diffuse brush, beauty sponge if that's how you wear your blush. So there you go. I think the only real reason to go up to the Armani price point is if it's a shade that you really love. I do have a shade in Armani that I did splurge for. It's shade 12. They call it a rosy nude. I'll put a picture of it right here so you can see. It is one of my favorite nude blushes. I wear it all the time, and I've been wearing it with Ravy Beauty's Heaven on top of it, and it is, yeah, it's been my go-to. But I forgot how much I like a pink, so maybe it's time to switch back to pink. Oh gosh, I don't know. With blushes, it's like a men's tie. You can change the shade every day and have a slightly different look. You could wear the two Morphe shades a gazillion different ways. You could custom mix them, 2 pumps of this one pump of that, 1 pump of this, 2 pumps of that. You get the drift. You could mix those so many different ways and come out with different shades. So I say get creative with whatever blushes you already have, or if you want to pick up a new one for 15 bucks, you know how it's going to wear. All right, you guys, that does it for this week's Friday Face Off. If you like Friday Face Offs, be sure to check out the playlist on my channel where you can see all of the Friday Face Offs. I've been doing these comparisons for over 4 years. We have tested a lot of different products, and 7 times out of 10, the less expensive one comes out on top. So that's food for thought, isn't it, as we are entering holiday shopping time. All right, well, your algorithm says that you're gonna wanna watch this video next, so I will see you over there. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any Friday Face-Offs or any of the videos that I do. I do 8 a month. I'll see you guys in just a couple days. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.